Hello, guys. I hope everybody is doing good and I hope everybody is fine. So, this is Denis cashpips again, and I'm back with another update that we have right now. Now, we have a trade on gold. This trade has been running since yesterday. And this is, let me just break down first on gold, the gold trade that we have. So, the market was trading, and remember, I called this trade when the market broke below this on Friday and said now we are reversing the trade we want to go sell. And on Monday, we woke up with this shock and the market started to trace above. Now, for me, ideally, I expected the market to come and just fill this gap, and then after filling this gap, then we continue selling. Now, this is what is happening. So the market came and filled the gap and actually gave us a sell, yes. But when the market did this drop, it gave us a trend line that was here. So we have this trend line, first touch, second touch, and then on the third touch, the market was broken above. So what do? We always say that once the market breaks a trend line like this, we want to wait for that trend line to be retested, but the retest must happen at a psychological level. So we can see the market came back after buying and then selling down. It dropped and then came to this psychological level. Now, this psychological level becomes a reasonable point of entry. Why? Because when the market reached this psychological level, we said we have to wait for a confirmation on that psychological level. So we have this confirmation on the psychological level. Then the market gave us this engulfing candlestick over here. So it has given us this engulfing. And then that's when we take our buy position, knowing that we have, and then we put our stop loss below. And then this trend line, by that time, so let me refine this. By that time, the trend line was at that point. So this becomes the second touch on that trend line. And our stop loss can be anywhere around these lows, anywhere around this, anywhere. As long as it's below the trend line and the ecological level, we are already good. So we put our stop loss right here about there. And then we want first target, we said we target this next psychological level, which is over here. And then the next target we want to target in the next trend line, the most next trend line, which was this. If we refined it, when we refine this trend line, we would see that it was at this point. This is the second touch point over there. So now the market is we are targeting this psychological level and also targeting this trend line. But as long as the market breaks that trend line, we now consider it as a break and we wait for the retest on that psychological on that trend line. So the market comes and also breaks above this trend line, which was our target. That means that we take the next trend line, which is going to be our target. So which is this one. So the market has broken above this trend line. And then what happens? The market came and retested, but not on a psychological level. The market comes and retests it on the second time, but on the psychological level. So we take the trade at this point. If you had not entered the early trade, we take the trade and then we refine this trend line to come to this area. So this is our safety line. So if anybody was to trade this level, I prefer let's go to 5 minutes. So in 5 minutes, you can see the market came and gave us a reason to enter here. So we can see this drop and then a bullish candle that comes and leaves weak. So these 2 weeks can give us an entry. So preferably someone would have taken an entry from here. This is a trade that happened today during London session. So you could have taken that trade. And this trend line is still our safety line. So it's still happening, working as our safety line. And the best target we would have was supposed to be this trend line and this psychological level, this point. The market comes and breaks this psychological level again, and it has retested that level again. When you go to 15-minute time frame, you will see a reversal pattern that came on. So in 15-minute time frame, you can see the market came and broke above this trend line, and then now we are trading above. Now, what is our next target? Remember this trend line. We have not yet removed it. This trend line held the market for a very long time. So you can see it held the market for a very long time here. And now we are saying after it has broken it above, we want to see the market retesting that trend line, but on a psychological level. Very simple. So preferably, this market is likely to continue going up, buying up to this level before we can now start seeing sells off of that level. So we want to see the market retesting that psychological level, this psychological level with this trend line before we now see the market dropping a little bit again. If that doesn't happen, then we will have to say that we want to have a significant retest on this trend line before we continue to buy. But ideally right now, We are looking at gold buying to 4850. Then we can now have a little, at least a slight drop, either to come and break this trend line and give us a sell opportunity, or we want to see the market buy to this level and then drop again to this area to give us a third touch on this trend. And once it gives us a third touch on this trend and at this level, at this psychological level and trend line, if the market comes and gives us a third touch at this level, we would take a buy on gold and then hold it for as long as it can sustain. But this level is going to be very significant. The reason is, even when you look back in time, you can see this is a major resistance level. So this is a resistance level that is most likely going to hold the market. I'm going to put a yellow bar here. I prefer to do that. So we put a yellow bar here because it's a major resistance level that has held the market already before, for some time before. So this is going to be a good place to consider selling the market. But again, we are not going to sell blindly. We are saying we want to see the market come retest this level and give us a reversal pattern. Once we have a reversal pattern from this zone, then we are going to take our buys, our sales on gold, holding the gold sales for some time now. So that's what we have right now on gold. Please keep updated and let's see what the market gives us. Bye for now. It's Denis Cash Pips.